So many of us confused about our jobs at one time or another. When should I switch companies? When should I ask for a raise? Should I change careers completely? And if you're feeling confused, our next guest is here to help.
She has created a totally fresh approach to leadership based on the science of hope and breaks down her approach in her new book called The Hope-Driven Leader. Harness the power of positivity at work. Joining us with tips on how to take control of our career paths and be happy is executive coach and author Libby Gill.
Hi,
Welcome,
Libby.
Hello, good morning.
All right, so first of all, tell us about the book and the science of hope.
There is a science of hopefulness, much like the science of happiness that more people are familiar with. It comes from medicine and positive psychology. And it's basically about having a future-focused, a specific vision of where you want to go, but understanding that it's got to be grounded in reality. You've got to recognize that there will be setbacks.
Right.
And then you link your beliefs to your behaviors and you continue on that path.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have some tips on how to take control of your career path, because sometimes we feel like we don't have control of it, right? It's just going. First up, you say create a self-managed career path and then determine what makes you marketable.
You've got to know what your skills and your strengths are, and your passions. Careers are long. You don't want to go down a path where you're not excited about it every day.
Right.
So once you understand that, you really do follow that path of understanding what the marketplace wants from you. What's the feedback that you get from people? What is it that sparks their interest?
You say establish your value and claim a seat at the table. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean that literally, but also metaphorically. Most people hate self-promotion. The idea, Hollywood may be a little bit different in your world, Sam, right? But most people don't really want to promote their accomplishments, but you've got to be visible along the way. If you're not talking about what you and your team have done, it's really hard when the opportunities come up for people to think of you.
And is that what establish the value part? Are you talking about a monetary, this is what I'm worth? And how do you get to that?
Well, that's one thing that's important too. It's really nice to know what your peers are making. You can go to something like salary.com and lots of online tools that will give you that sense. But I really mean, can you articulate the value that you bring to your team or to your company? Have you really done the homework to say, this is what I do, this is how I do it, and these are the results I've made for the company?
Next, you say ask for promotions, projects, and raises that you really want.
Some people just don't ask. We assume that people are going to notice if we do a great job. That's not true. You can get stuck in sort of that utility player role. Throw me in and I'll do anything you want. You've got to raise your hand and say, it's a two-way relationship. This is where I want to go. This is what I'd like to do next. And get specific with
Well, they can't read your mind, right? You got to...
No. And that's why you need to be talking gracefully, but about your accomplishments along the way.
It seems like younger people are sort of getting into the career world and they stay someplace for a year and they move to another, and it's old people like us, and Jessica's excluded from that, but the old dudes like us, we get to a place, we feel comfortable, and we stay for a long time. When is it time to switch company?
Well, you could say that it's because the environment and the atmosphere has been great for you, so don't overlook that. Right. It's time to switch companies. Most people do about 12 to 15 times in the course of a career. That's how many jobs we have. If you're not growing, if you're not learning anything new, if you're not having challenges that excite you, or if the stress is so bad it's making you physically ill, and I mean that literally.
That can happen for people, yes.
Absolutely. It's time to go.
Once again, the book is called The Hope-Driven Leader, Harness the Power of Positivity at Work. It's available on Amazon.com and on Libby's website, LibbyGill.com. Thanks, Libby.
Thank you.
See you this morning. We'll be right back.